Hello and welcome back to another advanced train tutorial. So this is part 3 of the series, and I'll be showcasing how to add the train model onto the train, as well as the track model and animating the doors. So this might be a long video, but that's fine. I'll also add how to switch seats from here and the other side, so both directions work, as well as adding a coupler to both sides of the train. So let's get started. Alright, so first thing, let's get a track, and I'll actually delete what I have already. That was from a past game or whatever. So I'll just scale this like this. Same with this. Scale it down to fit the gauge or whatnot. Okay, now I have my track. Why it's like that. Okay. When we got our track, let's get our collisions. So I'll just Control X that. Bring this here. Paste that original location. Okay, and just drag it over here. Okay. Now let's click the rails. Get the position. And then click the collision model and then just paste it in. Okay. And then what you want to do next, just make all the parts non-transparent, and then we can just union them like this. Get the size of the rails, which is 25 whatnot. Alright, and then click this and then change the X to the same thing. Then boom. Just separate it after, and then your collisions should be set. Make them transparent. Control X the track and then paste into our original location. Okay. Then we can just rename this to track model. Okay. And then we can go into plugins. We can use Archimedes. Is Archimedes on again? Okay. Bro, what? What? Dude! Bro, this has happened like 3 times, bro! What is... Okay, I guess we just delete the Archimedes ID. And then it should be fixed. Alright. And then we can just drag our train here. Test it out. Okay. Hopefully the collision should fit it. Yep. Alright, it works. Oh my god. Alright, now that we got this working, I'll just create a thing. Alright, click that, swap sides. Just make a long track that way. Okay, now that we got a train, drag this up here. Get our train model, okay? Just drag this here as well. Actually, no, we'll drag one for now. Okay, Control X and then paste and original location, and let's just drag it here. Actually, no, we can just Control X that, copy the position of the train chassis and paste the position here. Okay. That way it's centered to the train. Alright. Now let's scale our thing, our bogies or whatnot. Okay. So we have our train. Okay, let's go into our chassis. Now we'll create a new folder and we'll call it model. Okay, Control X and then just paste it into the model. Okay, and then we have our scripts, our weld script. Now we actually have a use for it. Let's get an object value and let's name this our base and then our model. So the base is what we want it to weld it to, which is this bogey base. All right, and then our model is gonna be this, the folder. Okay, so let's get our base. So local base equals script.base.value and local model equals script.model.value. Okay, let's do a for loop. So for every part in pairs model get descendants do. Okay, so that just gets every single part under this model folder. Let's check if it's a part first. So if part is a base part, then we create a weld. Weld equals instance.new weld string. Okay. And then weld.parent equals part. Weld.part0 is going to be the part. And then weld.part1 is going to be equal to the base. Okay. And then this should do it. Yep. All right. Now that it's welded, and okay, let's scale our bogey base. So hold Control so it scales relatively. Okay, and just scale it to about there. Okay, and then I think we can just drag the base up. Yeah. All right, and let's just move the bogies down here. Okay. They should realign themselves, so it's fine. Actually, no, we might want to move this down back to here. All right. Just align them. Whatever, they'll realign themselves. All right, and then we can get the bogey. All right, and then we can actually no. Move the bogies where the where the actual bogey model is. Okay, I'll do the same. Just drag it here. Same with this one. All right, that's good. Okay, just Control X and go into the bogey thing and paste into at original location. All right. Now that we have that, you can just create a weld constraint and just weld it. So just get the bogey model and weld it to the actual bogey. Paste into. All right, whatever. And do the same thing for this one. Control X, paste into the back bogey, paste into that original location. and just do weld constraint, weld the union, and weld the bogey base. All right, and then I think we can move our vehicle seat up. Nope. Move our vehicle seat here. All right, let's go into our weld thing. We can also edit the part. So let's do part dot can collide equals false. Okay. Same with these bogey models. Make sure they're can collide false. All right. If we play the game, hopefully it should let us drive. Oh. Oh wait, I'll anchor that quick. It's causing a lot of lag. All right, let's play here. Let's test the sound. Might be. Okay, disable the force limits enabled, I think. That way you don't have to keep calculating it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's moving. Perfect. Yeah, the bogies shake a bit. That's just how I set up my collisions. I like the bogey stuff, the hitboxes. So if you should try to make the bogey hitboxes bigger, because Roblox collisions like to do that. All right, now that we got one side, actually let's test out the turn radius. All right, usually I go for like 3 degrees or 2 degrees turn radius. We just test that. All right, let's see this. Turn should be smooth. Perfect. All right, that's kind of awesome. Okay. Let's add the other train now. Let's move this up. Actually, no, I can just delete the other one because it's just copy. Just duplicate this. Okay. And then go into model, just steal the model and then put it into the original train thing. All right. Delete that. Actually, no, don't delete it. So wait, never mind. Control Z, wait. All right, we rotate it. Okay. Rotate it. We're just gonna delete the scripts and the vehicle seat and the events. Keep the chassis and the model. Okay. And then we can just drag this here, drag it into here. And then just group as a folder. We call this back bogies. And select the front ones, group as folder. Rename it to front bogies. All right. The model, just drag it into here. Type a train back. Train front. Actually, we can just group this as the front and then create another folder and just rename it to back model. All right. We might have to recode the. Okay, so we gotta redo this. So the linear velocity will be the train folder. Chassis dot front bogies dot bogey base dot linear velocity. All right. We're gonna rewrite this code in a future tutorial, but it's just spaghetti code as of now. I'll rewrite it in the future. Okay, and then we go into the weld. Okay, and we check if. No, we don't have to check. We'll just weld all the ones on the front first. Front, get the sentence. Okay, and we'll just do the same thing with the back. The only thing we need to change is the base. So we'll have a front base. Right, rename this to front base. Back base. Alright, so front base. And we'll have back base. Okay. And then the back base will be the back bogies and the bogey base here. Alright. Next thing we want to do, create a part. Size it as a 1x1 cube. Control X. Just want to paste it into chassis. Alright. And then I'll call this joint. Okay. And then we'll just put this. Actually, okay, go into model, go to edit pivot, just change the pivot right into the middle. Right, we can get the position from there, get the joint part, and then paste the position, and it's perfectly in the middle. Alright, duplicate it. Okay, and then rename this to P1, and then rename this to P2. So these will be our joints, which will rotate the train. Let's create an attachment into both of them. And we can create a ball and socket constraint. Paste it into, select attachment 0, select one of the attachments, then boom, you have that. Make sure they can collide false. Add a weld constraint. So P1 will be the front bar, then P2 will be the rear one. Alright. And collide false, perfect. And then make sure you go into the rear train, select the linear velocity, and you can disable it. Okay. Let's hope this works. Right. Something is broken. Oh, the client side script. I forgot about that. Chassis dot front bogies dot bogey base. Alright, now it should work. Let's hop in. There we go. Alright. Now your train is training. It's perfect.